I'm back. Let's get back to this. Okay. I'm afraid I don't know. I haven't been able to listen to the proceedings of the trial myself. Oh, no, of course not. Special characteristics of the Curie and its effects on human subjects. Interesting. Curie? What's that? I never heard that word before. Time's up. The prosecution demands the immediate removal of this female trespasser from the courtroom. There was little time for me to read it in detail, but I've summarized what is inside the cover. If you could be valuable, please cast your eye over it. This is wonderful, thank you. Goodbye then, and good luck. Peace out. She just vanished. Jesus.
You have long enough, Counsel. We cannot detain our English guest any longer.
Oh, Jesus.
I ask the prosecution and the defense now one last time. Does either side have any further evidence to present to the court? I presume not, but...
The prosecution has made its case convincingly enough already. Nothing more to add, Your Excellency.
Rinosuke, we're out of options here. This really is our very last chance.
Yeah, I know. Your Excellency, the defense does have new evidence.
That look. The unyielding stare of a true Japanese warrior. Well, Miss Brett?
Yes, oh God. Yes, Your Excellency.
If you wouldn't mind, perhaps you could grace us with your presence a little longer.
It is a delightful invitation, but I'm afraid it's not so long until tea time.
Forgive me, Miss Brett. It seems I wasn't clear. I realized it was phrased as a question. However, I must ask you to treat that as an order.
I've said it. Goddamn. I forgot all their voices. I've said it many times before, but the Japanese language makes no sense.
My apologies, dear lady. So, Counsel, what is the new attention?
Can I look at it first? Okay. Well, it's obviously this.
Yes!
Is it not? The music's still going. That's not good. Miss Giselle Brett, we understand you were studying under Dr. Wilson at the UMA University doing research, correct? Research by sheer coincidence, perhaps, into a deadly poison. What?
Poison? Where are you going with this, Counsel?
Where do you think I'm going with this, man?
The toxin known as the Curie, Your Excellency. Even the slightest amount of this deadly poison entering the body leads to an instant death.
What? What complete and utter nonsense! Curie, you say? I've never even heard of it.
You wouldn't have done.
You wouldn't have done. What? You wouldn't have done. Unless I read that wrong. What do you mean?
I mean that you wouldn't have heard of a Curie before for one very simple reason. It doesn't exist in our country. It does not exist. Correct. Which means, no matter what tests the police can do for toxins, they never identify the Curie. Why? Because there's no test available here that can identify the presence of this highly deadly poison.
What?
Yeah, you freaking... What's up, Ouchie? What are you gonna do about it? Order! 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 Counsel, does this deadly poison truly exist? According to this report authored by the visiting research student from England, Curie has been used by tribespeople of South America as a poison to lace their arrows. It seems that it's reasonably well known among European doctors and scientists.
To lace their arrows?
The report states that it is produced from the extract of a tree that grows deep in the Amazonian jungle. It was first brought to Europe at the turn of the century by explorers. It claims that animals shot by arrows laced with Curie suffer instant death. Doesn't that about sum it up, Miss Brett?
Attention!
Trumpery. These aspersions are utter trumpery. These words, man. To start with, if the victim had been administered some of the so-called deadly poison, he would have been squirming and writhing in pain. The other diners would have surely noticed.
That's true.
It causes paralysis, stupid.
What do you have to say, Inspector?
Obviously, I would have not noticed a disturbance like this. I didn't notice the professor being in any kind of pain.
According to this, however, it's the other way around.
What do you mean, the other way around?
The very fact that the victim didn't show any visible signs of distress is evidence that the Curie was used. Explain yourself, Counsel. The moment the toxin enters a person's system, it causes instant paralysis. In other words, afflicted victims lose all strength and are completely unable to move. Even if they were in total agony, there would be no visible signs of pain at all.
How terrible.
Obviously, if a man lost all strength in his muscles, he'd collapse on the floor. But with a chair under him for support, as Dr. Wilson did, the effects could go largely unnoticed.
But I don't follow, Kazuma. That's just paralysis. I thought the poison called instant death.
Poison causes immediate paralysis, as I said, leaving the victim unable to move. But after a short time, the paralysis is so severe it causes the muscles that control respiration to fail.
Respiration? To breathe, you idiot!
In other words, the actual cause of death is suffocation. And all the while the victim is conscious and aware, just unable to move.
That's hideous.
To the observer, it would look almost like the victim was slipping peacefully into an endless sleep. But for the victim itself, his final moments would be a living hell. That is the true nature of this deadly Curie poison.
So did we solve it? Like what? Why would we take a break if we just solved it?
And you're suggesting that this bottle, Counsel, actually contains this terrifying poison?
This is all very convenient, isn't it? Ouchie, I'ma smack you! A hitherto unknown poison for which there is no means of testing. What a happy tale for this defense. Ahem, if I may. All these facts you think you're so clever, but you... Oh. It is you who must be taught. Of course. Sorry, dear lady. So, this is how you Japanese behave, is it? What? You steal another's honest hard work, then announce the results as if you discovered them? I'm appalled. What a loathsome act.
Well, Miss Brett, the feeling is mutual.
Whatever do you mean?
Capitalizing on the unfortunate circumstances. Oh, whoa. I lowered the volume back, so. And is a man to frame for an heinous crime. That really is a loathsome act. Wouldn't you agree?
Attention!
Enough of this. I, for one, refuse to accept it. The idea of some poison that doesn't even exist in the great empire of Japan is breaking the rules.
What's so funny?
Oh, excuse me. Your Excellency?
Yes, Miss Brett?
May I borrow that bottle for a moment, please?
Well, yes, I don't see why not. Because she's gonna pour it out.
What the hell is this game you're playing? Don't get too big for your boots, you insignificant little island boys.
Sorry.
To an English woman such as myself, this whole affair is a farcical comedy. Your little police games and these foolish courtroom antics. It's laughable, really. But I'm getting bored of it all now. It's time for these games to end. Now watch me drink this water, you idiots. Cheers! There's no poison in here. Look at me drink it, see? There's nothing in here at all. I probably hid it somewhere else. Wait, what are you doing? Delicioso. You fool. No sparkle left at all. How appropriate for this shabby affair. Goodness, whatever's the matter? You all look quite stunned. Yo. So, no Curie. The bottle was clean. Is that what you're saying? You look quite incredulous, little boy. But of course... Oh, that's the simple truth. Oh my god, this angle. Thank you for presenting the findings of my research so concisely in this grand venue. Most kind. Most kind indeed. Oh no. Thank you, waiter. Now then, Your Excellency, may I go now?
Yes, Miss Brett.
I should like to be excused now, please. You got nothing. I think I've given more than enough time for the furtherance of our friendship between our countries.
Yes, dear lady. We are most gratified with all the assistance you have given.
This doesn't make sense. There had been poison in that bottle. So how? How did she swallow a whole glass and live to tell the tale? I don't understand it. Well, I suppose if nothing else, this little Far Eastern charade will make for an interesting conversation at the next party I attend to in London. There has to have been poison in that bottle, doesn't there? But there can't have been, because otherwise she would have keeled over and dead. It's probably like time sensitive, you know? It can... Just in case. That's not what I wanted. You know what? There is no poison in that bottle. As I thought, there is no poison in that bottle. What? What? Rinosuke? Isn't it obvious? If there was poison in there, she'd be dead by now. Sometimes your unadulterated naivete really astounds me. Sometimes it's a new to good of staining, till it's as dark as your uniform in the ways of the world. I don't know what just happened. Ah, damn it. I don't know, man. I thought it would be cool. There is poison! The culprit did put Curie poison into Dr. Wilson's carbonated water. The defense refuses to change its position. You're serious? Yo, are you gonna be happy for whatever I say? Fool, are you blind? There is no possible way that poor bottle could contain poison. I mean, we just saw Miss Brett drinking water from it. That's right, which rather complicates your argument, I think. And I believe that complication can be explained. How exactly? Sure that the answer that we have to look at. What do you mean? Well, that's the foreign language. Yeah, I already read this already. It enters the body through a wound. So it couldn't have... It couldn't have come through the bottle then. But he's saying that it needs to have be in there? Or does drinking it count? Very well, if the defense truly asserts to assert this claim, then I must ask you to support that assertion with evidence. What explains how the witness was able to consume his study unscathed? Because it's not in there.
Yes.
Oh my god. What? Bastard. Oh, okay, yeah. What part of it was it called? Special characteristics. We've been hearing a lot about this Curie poison, and it's left me curious about something. Oh, Counsel? Well, it sounds as though indigenous hunters may have been using this poison for years and years to lace the head of arrows that they shoot at whatever prey they're hunting. So we've been led to believe, yes. And the point of hunting is to catch prey to eat. Get to the point already, please. But if they were to use these laced arrows, doesn't that mean there would be traces of poison left in the prey the hunters were going to eat? Yes, good point. So surely the hunters wouldn't want to eat their prey, would they? Because then they'd be eating poison. Good gracious, Counsel. No, that would be madness. But I actually found the answer to this conundrum in this research paper here. Under special characteristics, it says this. The poison starts to work after entering the body through a wound. Through a wound, you say? I see, that makes sense. Yes, the mention of that particular detail seemed a little strange to me, though. But it all makes sense when you interpret what's written like this. When Curie enters the body through an open wound, it has terrifying poisonous effects. However, when it enters the body via the mouth, it has no poisonous effects whatsoever. What? Miss Brett, you authored this research. You knew Curie's special characteristics, and you knew that you could make a spectacle of drinking the water without any danger to yourself. Oh, she's about to get mad. You meddling little... What the frick is that thing? It's alive? Rapscallion! The frickin' bird's alive. Well, Ryunosuke, it turns out you're an even better lore than I thought you'd be. Well, damn, thanks. Hello.
Objection!
All this poison talk is fascinating, I'm sure, but I fail to see how it possibly... He's defending you. What are you doing? So, the little ill-bred little puppy has a new toy to play with. Some facts you read in a book. But I'm afraid knowledge doesn't suit you, little boy. It only makes you look silly. Silly. Jesus. What are you trying to say? Your schoolboyish logic has a fatal flaw. I got a damn goose on my head. Schoolboyish flaw. As even your brain has managed to deduce, Kyrie is safe to ingest. It seems like its effects are neutralized by the acidic nature of the gastric succus. Succus. Ah, yes, well... Gastric suckers, what are they? So if this lethal poison is completely harmless when drunk, like the professor wouldn't have died of it, would he? That's right. Good gracious. That's basic science. Science that even a schoolboy should be able to understand, no? Order in the court. I'm about to pluck those feathers, I swear. The logic holds. Should I do like a different one? The logic holds. No. The logic holds. If the lady and the professor drank the same poison, they would be affected in the same way. Nah, I'm gonna keep it the right way. I hear my remote glitching like crazy. I do not appreciate it. If I'm glitching, I'm so sorry. Hello, stop it. Alright, I think it's fine now, Jesus. Yes, this Kyrie poison is completely irrelevant to the case on trial. Wait, I just combined two voices. That's right. Surely even a little cockroach... Okay, this game's glitching. I think it might be the remote. Give me a second. It's getting me annoyed. Alright, hopefully this is fine. I still hear it glitching. Okay, later. I'm gonna see something. Where's my phone? Let me mute myself and see what the heck's going on. I can't even play this damn thing on my phone to tell if I'm glitching or not. That's annoying as hell. Okay, there we go. Alright, I got it playing in the background for now. So hopefully, if I start hearing it glitching, I can check if it's fine or not. Alright, that was annoying. What is this welling up inside me? I've never felt like this before. This sort of conviction to break down all the discrepancies. It's so intense, almost rage-like. And more than anything else, it's an animalistic desire to take down my prey. Alright, that's one way to put it, Jesus.
Objection!
I don't think so, Miss Giselle Brett. How dare you use this tone with me? You know very well that there's no fatal flaw here. You know exactly why, even though both you and the victim swallowed the same poison. You are alive, but Dr. Wilson is dead. Counsel, I sure don't need to remind you must provide compelling evidence, as you now know that this poison is completely harmless when ingested. Why would Dr. Wilson alone have been killed by the Curie? Ah, frick. Alright,
Take that!
Okay. Ryunosuke, there's no need to overthink this. We know that the Curie's toxic effects only come into play when the poison enters the body via the wound. So that can only mean that when Dr. Wilson drank his glass of water, he must have had a wound somewhere that let the poison in. Exactly. So we need some evidence that would prove the professor had a wound inside his mouth. Oh! Yeah. The tooth! The tooth! Medical report! As Miss Brett so readily pointed out, she drank the same water as the professor. However, there was a fundamental and fatal difference between the two diners. A fatal difference. Indeed there was. The toxic effects of the Curie are only felt when the poison wound. So for a healthy person with no injuries drinking it, it is completely harmless. But what if there was a wound inside the mouth of the person drinking the poisoned water? Inside? Yes, like the wound you might have if you had just been to the dentist and had a tooth extracted, for example. Miss Brett, you've acknowledged many times in your testimony already that you were well aware of Dr. Wilson's dental appointment that day. So that means you used that knowledge to orchestrate this. Is she laughing? I don't like to repeat myself, but honestly I can't resist. These childish courtroom games and your half-baked arguments are so puerile. Puerile? What do you mean? Don't worry, little schoolboy. You'll find out soon enough. She just run? Oh, okay. Is she gonna get rid of the evidence? You see, when you leave a vital evidence lying around, you never know what might happen to it. No! I mean, it could just slip. What the frick? She just destroyed evidence! How is that fair in the court of law? What? Oh damn, she must be innocent then. What? What? You're wasting your time. This delightful carpet under my feet here was a gift from the British Empire. I assure you it will soak up the water beautifully. You have neither the technology nor the presence of mind to recover it. I'm gonna punch this lady! How could you? You won't get away with this. You can thump and punch on shadow as much as you like, little boy. But I'm afraid we'll never know now, will we? If there really was poison in that bottle or not. And let us not forget, we still have some very compelling evidence left intact. Isn't that right, counsel from the prosecution? Oh yes, of course. You're referring to this photographic print, I presume, dear. Yo, I had that solved days ago. The mark, come on, it's been moved. The body's been moved. That's right. And really looking at this photograph, it's clear as day, isn't it? Poor professor was sitting with his back to me. Lies! So, of course, the only person who would have shot him from the front is the little schoolboy.
Objection!
No, you killed the victim that day using your Curie, and then in order to frame Ryunosuke Naruto for the crime. Excuse me. You waited until he picked up the pistol you arranged for him to find on the floor before you shot the professor's dead body in the chest with your own hidden gun.
Then, in the confusion that followed, all you had to do was turn the dead professor and his chair around. You see, you had the opportunity to commit this crime.
What a wonderful imagination you have, young man. A hidden gun, you say, and I shot the professor's dead body, did I? Well, I'm terribly sorry, but you don't have a shred of evidence, do you?
Exactly. And as you have nothing to support your wildest claims, the prosecution's stance remains unchanged. The victim, Dr. John H. Wilson, was killed by a gunshot to the chest. Delivered in cold blood by the accused Ryonosuke Naruhiro. Ugh. This is unbelievable. How can this be happening? We had her. But now, is she really going to get away with it? The way she destroyed that evidence was so obscene. Ryonosuke. Yeah. We've come this far, but now you're the only one who can finish this. What do you mean? We've lost a vital piece of evidence, it's true. So if there's any clues left for us to use now, there must be in your head.
In my head?
You've told me before your powers of observation were the one that you could really depend on.
Well, yeah, that's true, but I didn't manage to notice that this woman was a foreigner with a swan on her, right? Just me, it wasn't just me.
So think back again now. Try to remember every last detail about the scene that day. Everything you saw, everything you felt, every color, every smell.
I saw what I felt. What are we looking at? Every color. Hey. Somewhere in the vibrant memory on the scene in my head. Could there be another clue to the truth? There's a clue! Actually, Kazuma, I think I might have something. Thinking back over everything I saw, I think I might have uncovered another clue. Is it the clue that I figured out like 10 days ago? Come on, let's wipe that smug smile off that English woman's face with some evidence. Alright, I can't wait. It's been... what? For a while, that something feels amiss in my memories on that day. Whatever it is could be the key to arriving at the truth about all of this. It's here somewhere, that clue that shows... It's that. It's literally the only thing that's here. Ah. Bro, oh, I'm pressing the wrong button. Inspector Hosanoga, answer me this! Can't believe that guy's still there. Yes, what is it? He's still miles away, probably thinking about that bottle being smashed. As you said a number of times now, you strive for protection in your investigations, don't you? Absolutely. I wonder, therefore, if perhaps you took anything else from the scene of the crime. Like, for instance, the plate of steak that you took the victim's table that day. Wait a minute, where are you? Where are you going with this, little boy? It's just a memory that's been troubling me. What memory? I saw the scene shown in the photographic print with my own eyes that day. And I saw that on the wooden base of the plate that the steak was served on was a splattering of blood. What? Oh really, and what of it? Obviously that must have been when you shot the professor. No, that can't be the case. Take a good look at the photograph and the relative position of everything there. The plate of steak is almost directly behind the victim. If I'm supposed to have shot Dr. Wilson on the chase from the front, there's no way that blood from the victim could have ended up directly behind him. Yes. For the blood to have made it onto the plate, it implies the plate was between the victim and the shooter, which means the shooter must have been sitting opposite the professor as you were. Giselle Brett. I beg your pardon? This is beyond ridiculous. Fabricated nonsense. Is this court seriously expected to believe something the accused has apparently just remembered seeing? You're gonna let her throw out a bottle? This could be the moment that my entire career as police force has been leading to. Inspector, you mean... Yes, I took the plate in the interest of preserving evidence from the scene of the crime. I took it meat and all, and I don't care if they call me a crime scene thief because of it. You did what? I took the steak that you had been eating, Miss Brett. I took the steak that the sergeant had been eating. I took everything in the name of justice. Then we can find out for sure whether or not there's a bloodstain on Miss Brett's plate. We must examine it now. Inspector, the court wishes to examine the plate from the victim's table immediately. Excuse me. The steak. Well, what about the blood? Is there blood on it? Of course there isn't. Quickly, Inspector, the blood man. Show the court! Of course. Examine the plate at your leisure. There's no blood on the table. No blood. No blood anywhere. God dang it. I know this might be a little too stupid thing. Small, then big. Small, then big. It might be the same steak. I can't even tell anymore. But no, that's impossible! I know I saw it, I'm sure of it. If I was right there at the table behind the professor, there was blood on the side of the plate. What an unbecoming expression, little boy. Stupid swan! You see, this is why I always say you can't trust what the Japanese tell you. This woman... so racist! Jesus! I couldn't agree more. In the case of the disgrace to the Empire... What are you doing? Ouchie! What are you doing? Jesus, you got no respect. Oh my god. I believe we may have finally reached a conclusion in this trial. We're always at the conclusion, aren't we? This let's pretend attempt at court proceedings is painful to watch, but I do promise to do my best to forget all about it when it's over. What was her motive? Ah, this sorry-looking steak reveals the fact all too clearly. If the sorry-looking accused wishes to examine it again, be my guest. I will gladly. They probably wiped it off and it's on the other side. It's on the back side. What about... what the hell is that? It's a Kabun cone, the hallmark of it's right, I believe. Is this for the merchant dude? Yeah, apart from the media, it just looks being good. Imagine it's very valuable. Probably I've never heard of the bullion and bullion. What the frick does that mean? You know, this is true. This means. What does this mean? I certainly never expected to find a precious coin in this thick for me. It's from the horror era to make it proud of. Oh look, what are you thinking of eating it? No, but the next time I order this, my heart's gonna be racing. What the hell? There's only one. What's the logical explanation? This isn't his food? You haven't lost yet, Ryunosuke. It is not over yet. Not until the final gavel. Never stop believing in yourself. Keep looking forward no matter what. Believe myself? Really? I should at least examine the evidence for myself. As the evidence requested by the defense has not been shown to be problematic in any way, I presume any further examination of evidence in this trial will be unnecessary. Does the defense have any objection? Oh god. There's another clue, bro. Your Excellency, please wait. The plate of police... Another clue that will reveal a shocking truth. Ouchie, back off! The only thing here that's shocking here is your unhealthy fascination with a beefsteak. Your Excellency, I think I've made myself quite clear, haven't I? I will not be able to turn a blind eye to any more unnecessary procrastination in this trial.
I'm sorry, Miss Brett, but we must ensure a thorough examination of the evidence. I will not give a ruling until I'm completely satisfied that all reasonable doubt has been dispelled.
I see. As a newly affirmed ally of my country, that's still your position, is it?
Thank you, Your Excellency. Counsel for the defense, you will now clearly show the court what you're alluding to. Where precisely on the beefsteak is this new clue to be found?
Right there, under the beefsteak.
Well, I already read this. Oh, I already read this already. Why are you making me do this again? I'm reading it. Okay. Present. Beefsteak coin. Good gracious, that's.
Yeah, Caban. What on earth?
A Hori error 1 at that.
Miss Brett, this is in fact the beefsteak that you ordered at the restaurant on the question in the day, is it? Tell me, why is there an old coin seemingly underneath the meat? You upset? What's wrong? What a ridiculous question. How should I know? I've never seen that thing before in my life. I don't know what it is, and I want no part of it. I fail to see how relevant this is relevant. A coin under the meat? That could simply have been careless mistake by the chief in the moment of distraction.
Don't be absurd. We're supposed to believe that this happened by accident in the kitchen? A rare Hori Caban just happens to be underneath the piece of steak. If this turns out to be irrelevant to the case, I'll rip up my ticket to Great Britain right now! Rawr!
He's right, it can't be a coincidence. Your Excellency.
Yes, Counsel.
A rare Hori Caban just happens to be underneath that piece of steak. If this turns out to be relevant to the case, I'll give up my lawyer job right now! By all means, don't let us stop you. No one invited you anyway. Perhaps, little boy, you should realize that it is you who is irrelevant, even though I'm the one on trial here. The point is, it's essential that we ask the owner of this coin if he can explain what it's doing under that steak. The owner? Yes, it's obvious, the only person who it can belong to. The owner of the Caban. It is... there he is.
Take that!
Obviously, it can only be... I'm gonna freaking move up, maybe that'll help.
The antiques dealer owner of the Rasute, Kiryo Korukuto-san. Kiryo? As in Mr. Cucumber something? Honestly, these ridiculous Japanese names are getting unfathomable.
Yes. The old man who testified earlier alongside the military sergeant, correct?
Yes, Your Excellency.
I remember him saying that he was up to something with his Caban coin when it happened, at exactly the moment the gun was fired.
The gunshot... oh, that's his.
The gunshot interested me not. I was far too busy on the floor.
Too busy on the floor? Sorry, what were you doing?
Hunting for treasure. Yeah, indeed! The Hori Caban, my prize coin!
Then this Hori Caban,
do you mean to tell me?
Objection!
No, please, why would the Kurokotan-san's Caban be sandwiched between the victim's beefsteak and its plate? It makes no sense. That is correct, because it wasn't her steak. Which is why I'm asking to bring Kuroto-san back to the witness stand so we can ask him.
Officer, bring both witnesses that testified earlier back in here, without a moment's delay.
Bring them back. I can't believe we've come back around to the pair again. But I have a hunch, a strong hunch, that if we chase down the real significance of this Caban, we'll find that it's a key element to this case. Don't you to be continued me. Don't you to be continued me. Okay, thank God. Oh, snap! Everybody's here.
What's this all about? Why have I been called up again? Don't you realize that it's still time for Baby Idol? When my son's belly is empty, he's fiercer than a pack of wolves. Yes, exploited by police we were, like miserable dogs, forced to bear the false witness. And when cast from this courtroom, I'll stab them myself. I became ruined man in Detrice, a worthless withered antique. Nothing more I have to say. The sun has set on this Rasute's shop owner's existence. I must stab your gut. Be that as it may, Karuta-san, something has come to light that requires your clarification. As far as your Rasute memory serves, have you ever... That's yes, that's it, the one, the very one, the very exact one, that is. That resplendent, splendiferous, holy treasure that my rusty bones managed to misplace that fateful day. It can't be. As I thought. Young man, enlighten this decrepit fool. Put me out of my misery. Where was my treasure? Where was it dropped? Freaking chill, bro. I'm not sure it was dropped anywhere. We found your coin sandwiched between a beefsteak and its plate, soaking in the seasonal meat juices. Seasonal. Sandwich soaking? Seriously? Yeah, it couldn't have fallen there by accident, which means somebody must have hidden it there on purpose. Somebody concealed my holy treasure between a slab of meat and a metal plate. I'ma kill those fools who would do such a thing, such an unconscionable thing. Nobody knows. It was I. Excuse me. Could I say something? Yes, of course. Proceed, Inspector Hosonaga. I mentioned this early on in the trial, but I was working undercover in the restaurant in order to investigate another case.
Ah, yes, that's right. The secret undercover operation.
The Carnival is a high-class Western cuisine restaurant. It attracts wealthy diners, including many foreigners. Recently, there's been a run of similar executed thefts targeting the restaurant's rich clientele. A number of such accidents have been reported to the police bureau. Wicked crimes indeed. We wanted to nip the case in the bud quickly, especially with so many foreigners being affected. So that's why you were sent on undercover, is it? Yes, I took the job of the waiter at the restaurant in order to flush out the criminal. It seems likely that this Caban incident is the work of the same thief. So unbeknownst to us, there was a master thief work in the restaurant on a regular basis. The place was already the scene of several crimes, it seems. I don't know about the master thief part, but the identity of the person who stole and hid Karuta-san's Caban is all too clear. What? I think the court would like to hear the defense's view on this matter. Oh my god! I don't know. Who would be stealing his Caban? Why would Chico? Well, we don't even... Okay, so... the military man, he was there. It might be him. We might accuse him. The waiter, it's not him. Why would Giselle Brett want the Caban? That makes no sense. Unless she was the one doing the thefts, and he was there talking to her, and then she killed him. That's the only thing. It's either this guy or this girl. I'm gonna save, because I only got 2 lives left. And we're gonna present Giselle Brett.
Take that!
It wasn't her. Oh, snap. Alright, it wasn't. Okay. Don't hurt me. Don't take my life away. Ah! Is it the soldier man?
Take that!
It was the soldier man. No, wait. I'm gonna load myself back up. I'm sorry. I want my extra life back for that simple mistake.
Oh, it was the soldier man, sorry. Obviously, it can only be you. Sergeant Iesonosa.
What? How dare you? You monster!
Monster.
I stole that caban, did I? I'm the master thief of Love Carnival, am I? You're seriously accusing me of these crimes, could it? But it wasn't me, it was Idol.
Why this dude threw his child under the bus? Poor Ido. You got a terrible father. You would push the blame for your cries onto your own son, an innocent little baby? It's you who's the monster, Sergeant Nosa. I swear if the baby pops up and it's like an evil mastermind, I'm done with this game. You... Oh. Did he just kill his dad? Oh my god! What you say?
Upon enemy Imperial Army, Sergeant, yes sir, no sir, preparing to stand down in Supreme Court, sir! Do any of you know of the extraordinarily low wages the Nippon Imperial Army pays those it expects to keep our country safe?
I understand that temporary increase in taxation owing to the recently ended conflict remains in place. And I have heard it's hard for lower-ranking soldiers to make a living, yes.
All I want is to put a hot meal on the table for my son.
That's why you were stealing things at the restaurant.
The place is heavy with money. Every 3 days I go there and do reconnaissance for a target. And I enjoy chomping my way through a good steak at the same time.
And your target that day was the old man in his caban?
Yes, sir. He was an easy mark. I slipped the coin into my pocket without any trouble at all. A veritable phantom thief you are. I was all set to leave the steak. I was halfway through devouring when it happened. Yes, when the professor was shot, I knew that if the police conducted a search and found the coin in my pocket, I'd be finished. I know too. So I hid the incriminating evidence as fast as I could on the double. I slipped it under the steak, hoping that I'd be able to rendezvous with it again on a later date.
Awkward silence, I see. Everybody gets the ... Everybody gets the ... This is ridiculous. Perhaps you can carry on with this absurd prattling in your own time. Well, Miss Brett? Oh, of course, dear lady, of course. How rude of us. I'm quite sure there's no need to detain you any longer. I swear to God, ouch you. May the esteemed gentlewoman please be excused, Your Excellency? Indeed. The theft of the caban was clearly perpetrated by this baby-saddled sergeant. It would certainly appear to be unrelated to Dr. Wilson's murder. Of course it is. Hiding a coin under a lump of meat? The sheer nonsense of such an idea astounds me. Not nonsense, is it? And as for picking up your steak and biting into it without using a knife and fork, it's beyond nonsense. Pure madness. Very well. Now that all the questions concerning this witness's testimony has been answered, I see no further justification for detaining her. Miss Brett, you are free to leave. Thank you, Your Excellency. Good luck, everyone. I hope my freaking swan bites you in the face, and good day. Wait a diddly darn second. Nah, man, I'm just thinking. Something about Miss Brett's parting words that got me thinking. Alright, make my voice. Sorry, you can think later, but if you don't call it out now, it'll be too late. The trial will be over. Call her. She's leaving. She's leaving. She's disappearing right now. Wait, Miss Brett. What is it now? I'm afraid just one last time. There's something I'd like to ask you. I'd like to explain the contradiction in your parting words for just a few moments. What are you talking about? What contradiction?
Objection!
What new student nonsense is this? Yo, first of all, it doesn't matter if I'm a new student. The whole system is new. Okay, so what does it matter if I'm a new student? You're technically the same student as me, bro. Fight me. Jesus. Well, what parting words are you talking about, Rinosuke? Hiding a corn under a lump of meat. The sheer nonsense of such an idea astounds me. And as for picking up your steak and biting into it without using a knife or a fork, it is beyond nonsense. It's pure mud. If he didn't eat it, that's not the same steak, you idiot! Yep.
Take that!
The photographic print of the scene taken immediately after the incident occurred. What's interesting is the plate of steak that you can see on the victim's table. The steak that Miss Brett had been eating before the professor was killed. Yes, go on. More accurately, Your Excellency. The steak that was on the victim's table just before the professor was killed. Now you're just splitting hairs. Not true. Doesn't something about the steak strike you as unnatural? Unnatural? What on earth do you mean? It's extremely obvious. I'm talking about the shape of the edge where it had been eaten. Aha! I see you've noticed it too, Miss Brett. Notice what exactly, Counselor? Just a few minutes ago, Miss Brett claimed no Englishman could ever contemplate picking up a steak and biting it without using a knife or a fork. Of course she did. She's a refined English gentlewoman herself. Then take a good look at this steak, in the particular edge where it's been eaten. It's bite marks, son! As you can see, they're clearly defined barbaric teeth marks there. It's not your steak now, is it? It looks like Miss Brett has realized something. So, if a witness, as she claims, wouldn't contemplate eating anything without using a knife or a fork, then there shouldn't be teeth marks in the steak at all. But, what is your actual point? Perhaps the delightful Miss Brett was ravenously hungry and couldn't help. Okay. What's with the freaking handkerchief? Oh, whatever you say, dear lady. I hate that freaking head shake. I want to punch him. As I said before, I really must be leaving now. Afternoon tea with the Minister of Justice cannot possibly wait any longer. Of course, of course. Rest assured, I'm about to put this— Let me finish my talking! I've heard enough. Your irritating little spectacle samurai relic. Of course, dear lady. What's the matter, Miss Brett? Have we ruffled your feathers? Clearly, the witness knows what this means. She realized the catastrophic implications these teeth marks in the steak have for her. Rinosuke, do you know where you're going with this? I know with all my heart. Yes, now at last it all comes together. The mysterious teeth marks in the steak that had allegedly been eaten with cutlery. Ah, sucker. The reason why the bloodstain I noticed has somehow seems to have disappeared. And more importantly, the evidence that proves once and for all who shot Dr. Wilson that day. I accept that these teeth marks in the steak are a little unnatural, as you put it, Counsel. But what exactly are you suggesting that tells us? Everything, Your Excellency. Everything! Yes, I believe these barbaric teeth marks in the steak here amount to conclusive evidence in the case. Evidence that will prove beyond any doubt who shot Dr. Wilson. Conclusive evidence? How many times have I heard that today? You wouldn't know the meaning of the phrase typical Japanese empty threats. Damn, she is so racist. Oh my god. How can you be sure? Oh, it's quite simple. If you really had conclusive evidence, you would have presented it to the court long ago. Actually, the evidence I'm talking about hasn't been brought before the court yet. Hasn't been what? But just because it hasn't been shown yet, doesn't mean that the evidence does not exist. This is absurd. The trial has run several hours already, and you say there's evidence to be brought forward? There can't be. I don't believe you haven't. I don't, but there's someone who does have it. Someone in this very courtroom. And if that person is willing to submit the piece of evidence I'm referring to, It will solve every remaining mystery about this case.
Very well. I have a feeling this might be my last request of the defense in this trial.
Who possesses the conclusive... Ah, frick. It's John H. Wilson! Damn. Alright, it wasn't John H. Wilson. Alright. Okay, who has the final evidence? I mean, the only person I could think of is this guy. The answer is obvious. It is Inspector Hosonaga. What? I have it? Yes. You think I've been withholding conclusive evidence? That's ridiculous. Has he been poisoned? Is that why he's been coughing? Everyone's attention has been focused on the stake with teeth marks. Yes. Now, earlier this afternoon, Sergeant Nosa told the court the following. I'd enjoy chomping my way through a good steak, and as well as admitting to stealing Korokudo-san's coin, he told us that he slipped it into the steak. You watch it, cadet! I'm a superior officer! Sergeant Nosa, could you please confirm something for me? Was the steak that you put the coin under, in fact, your own steak? Attention! Affirmative, of course! I might be a soldier in the Imperial Army, but still! I'm not brave enough to ask the gentle lady if she mind me handling her meal to hide something in it. In other words, the steak that the Vector submitted as evidence earlier was indeed Sergeant Nosa's meal. But that makes no sense. The plate was taken from the victim's table. Yet, the gentlewoman doesn't take bites out of her steak, nor does she have an opportunity to steal the coin. Of course I didn't steal it. To even suggest such a thing would be an affront to the entire British Empire. Well then, how do you explain this paradox? Exactly. Sure, you're not going to suggest that the sergeant switched the two steaks over. I mean, not him, but yeah. You did switch the plates? Well, after it happened, when I had been murdered right in front of my eyes, I panicked. As I said, I immediately lifted my steak and hid the coin under it. But then, when the waiter announced he was an undercover policeman, I thought I had it. If he decided to investigate my slab of meat, that'd be it. I'd be getting marching orders. So when the cadet here was arrested and taken off to the kitchen, I seized my chance. With military precision and timing, I switched my steak with the one on the foreign lady's table. You can't have. I never saw you do such a thing. It was called Operation Lightning Bolt. There was no time for strategic planning. It was do or die, I tell you. So yes, I did what had to be done. Unbelievable. However, fear not, Prosecutor-san. What now? I swear on the brass buttons of my uniform, that's all I did, sir. All you did? That's plenty, Sergeant.
Yes!
So where's the steak, son? If he switched the plates, it means he took Miss Brett's steak and the plate was on back to his own table. That follows. Inspector Hosonaga. Yes. Earlier in this trial, you told the court this. You said that you had not only taken the Miss Brett steak after the incident, but also the sergeant's. Is that correct? I keep clicking the wrong button. That to preserve... Where is my thing? Oh, God. You had to take both. Oh, she about to rip her my ass, son! That's correct. Then please present it to the court now. Oh snap, that was a whole 360 spin. The plate was actually on the victim's table at the precise moment he was shot. What do you want, girl? What can you possibly tell us now? I mean, a cold slab of tough meat? It can't have the slightest bearing on the case. It's literally the one with the blood. The blood. No, you're not wriggling your way out of this time, lady. I beg your pardon? Surely you're not that forgetful. Surely you remember the reason why the steak pan promises to prove such a problem for you, no? You're the ones who decided it was a problem, not me. The reason the defense has asked to see that plate was confirmed something the defense remembers seeing. Thinks he remembers. I'm quite sure of what I saw, Miss Brett. On the side of the plate that was on the table directly behind Dr. Wilson, there was clear splattering of blood from the gunshot wound to the victim's chest. I believe the defendant's memory serves him well. And now we have evidence to prove it. The plate you were eating from, Miss Brett. Tell him. Let us not prolong this any further, Inspector. You will show the evidence to the court. Present the beefsteak and the plate that was originally on the victim's table at the time of the incident. Yes, sir. What's that I see there? That's really weird. Looks like there's blood on it. Here's the other steak at the table. Please feel free to examine it. Oh, what's that? What's that over there? That's weird. The blood stain. It's a blood stain. Yes! It's crazy. Now this makes everything clear. The blood you can see on the side of the plate. You're dead now, son. 1 second. There we go. Okay. Shows the moment that the victim was shot. He was facing the table with his back to me. In other words, it's impossible for Naruhodo-san to have shot the victim. Yeah, son? It can't be. In fact, there's only one person who could have possibly have shot Dr. Wilson from the front. I'm sure everyone knows by now who that person is. Oh snap, what about a breaker? That's right, Mr. Zale Brett. It's you! Oh, it just saved, it just auto-saved. We're about to see her explode. She just died? Outdone by a Japanese? Me? What the freak is your problem by a Japanese schoolboy? No. No! No! Oh my god, the bird! It's gonna... She's... What just happened? Where are you going? How many birds do you have in your hair? She just died. Go to heaven. Where did she just go? Bro, did I win? Please excuse my little outburst. I briefly lost my composure. Most unbecoming behavior for an English gentlewoman. Forgive me. It happened that day. The truth this time. Gladly, Your Excellency. It was I who took the professor's life using Curie. As you surmise, I chose that particular day for one very important reason. The professor had a dental appointment for the extraction of one of his teeth in the morning. So you planned to kill the professor, knowing that no trace of poison would be found in his water, because Curie is unheard of in Japan. Yes. Of course, I never intended to remain at the restaurant for as long as I did. I only needed to see the professor take one tiny sip of his water and it would all be over. I would place a steak I had ordered in front of him to make it appear as though he had been dining alone, and leave immediately. However, before any of that happened, there was an unexpected visitor at the professor's table. That would be me, I suppose. Yes, you. Who else? Such a trifling matter, but the fact that you decided to come over to greet the professor meant that I had lost my chance to slip away unnoticed. In due course, the professor took a sip of his water and was paralyzed. I made sure he was sitting in his chair such that he wouldn't fall. There was no going back at that point, so I concocted a plan on the spur of the moment. A plan to pin Dr. Wilson's murder on this innocent man. I happen to know the professor always carried a gun. I decided to use the fact to my advantage. I had the bottle of Curie in my handbag, and my own pistol concealed under my skirt. It was under the skirt! So I was right, there were 2 guns. Yes. And then I finished my coffee and got up to leave. That's when I noticed the professor's gun, which you had presumably placed on the floor. Place where you're sure that I would notice it. Everything went according to plan. You noticed the gun as I intended. And then, just as you bent down to pick it up, that's when you shot the professor with your own gun, even though at that point he was already dead. Naturally, the gunshot caused a commotion, at which point the waiter appeared. Obviously, I assumed Naruhodo-san was the culprit and apprehended him. I took him to the pantry that adjoins the kitchen and locked him inside. That's when I took the opportunity to turn the professor and his chair around. Because of course, you needed to make it look like the defendant had shot Dr. Wilson from he picked up a gun. Mission accomplished. So there you have it. That is the entirety of my misdemeanor. So am I innocent? Your Excellency? Yes. I wonder... might I speak with you in private later? I shall call on you. What the frick is happening? Thank you. Good day then, everyone. I hope you can forgive me, Naruhodo-san. And vanish. I just wanted to see her eyes once. And yep, it vanished. There she goes. Yo, bro. It would seem this trial has finally run its course. I presume the prosecution is in agreement. This can't be. Oh no, don't. Oh no. Not the likes of this rookie student. Well, you did lose. Can you lose your hair now? You better start getting used to tough opposition. Ah! Ria Snookerba! What? Yes? This insult to the Aochi family name will never be forgotten. Yeah, I mean, you're right. You've become conceited with age, Council. But the old have to stand aside and make way for the new. Oh, you're gonna cut his hair? It is the way of the world. May you never forget that. Cut his hair. Cut his hair. Ah! There you go. I wanted. That's all I wanted the entire time. And 1,000 millennia may pass, and still, the Aochi clan will never match up to the Naruhodo clan. Oh, that's hilarious. Sorry, still got a couple thousand years. Well, I believe go down in history as the start of a new chapter in the country's judicial system. Despite being summoned to the queue as the accused, Ryunosuke Naruhodo presented an excellent case. Thank you, Your Excellency. The use of evidence and deduction to unravel the truth is a modern methodology. After all, it has only been a few short decades since our country opened its door to the wider world, but the Western ideals of science are rapidly gaining acceptance here. I feel sure that science will soon bring new methods of investigation and new procedures of justice. A new future of law awaits. But what will it look like? I cannot begin to imagine. That is for the young to pursue. Kasuma Asogi. Yes. After this trial, you are set to embark on a journey of discovery to the British Empire. Learn all you can, absorb everything of the wider world that you are able to. And do not forget to fulfill the mission imposed upon you. I understand, Your Excellency. What was that about? Why do you look so grave all of a sudden? Never mind. As for you, Ryunosuke Naruhodo. Yes. In you, I sense, how can I put it? Unusual potential. I very much look forward to seeing how you carry that onwards. Thank you, Your Excellency. It is time to deliver the final verdict. I hereby find the defendant Ryunosuke Naruhodo not guilty. Thank you, Lotus Blossoms. Look at freaking this man is still bald over here. I love it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It's not as fun as confetti, but thank you still. The court is now adjourned. Peace. I can't believe it. I can't believe what's happened. I made it. I defended myself and made it through that horrendous trial. Rinosuke, you finally pulled it off. Congratulations. Well, I couldn't have done it without you. Thank you, Kazuma. No, it was my pleasure to watch you at work. So you owe me an extra large sukiyaki from the place. Oh, someone do. Who the frick is Zach? So this is why you don't let random people follow you. That's not, you just don't do that. So you owe me an extra large sukiyaki from a place on Yume's University Street. Don't forget. Good afternoon. All your hard work has certainly paid off. Nope, that's... Congratulations to you both for proving Naruhodo-san's innocence. Ah, our trusty judicial assistant. You worked hard for that result too, you know. Oh no, I didn't do anything. Thank you so much! If we hadn't had that research report of Miss Brett's, I don't know how things would have turned out. Your kind words should really be for my father. I was simply doing as he asked. It was his idea for me to go to the university and investigate. Your father? Oh, yeah, of course. Professor Mikotoba. Have you read this? It's his father. Her father. Oh, there you are. I believe congratulations are in order. Hello. Naruhodo, you did an excellent job. Thank you, Professor. Oh no, it is I who should be thanking you. After all your efforts exposed a true criminal that took the life of my good friend. Good friend? Oh yes, you mentioned that before. It was you who actually invited Dr. Wilson to Yume University, wasn't it? Yes, that's right. Professor Mikotoba studied overseas himself. He went to study forensic medicine in Great Britain. Presumably, that's when you met Dr. Wilson. Exactly. In those days, we worked together in the same hospital. Oh, you worked together? I never heard you mention that before. Well, it was a long time ago now. Besides, it's your turn, Asaki. Great Britain is a magnificent country. It leads the world in science, medicine, engineering, culture, and of course, in lava. Watch and learn, my boy. See what's happening in the world's largest melting pot. I will. I'll learn all that I can. I swear on this, the spirit of the Asogi clan. You're not taking the sword to Great Britain, are you? Of course I am. The Japanese man's katana is his soul. This blade shows me where I need to go. I need Phoenix to just carry a sword now. That's all I need. And cuts down anything that's in my way. That reminds me, what's happened to the woman? To Giselle Brett, I mean. After all, she's guilty of murder. Oh yes, her. It's not easy to tell you this, but... What do you mean? Surely she's going to face trial herself now. She's the true culprit, after all. She will be leaving Japan in the very near future, for Shanghai. What? Shanghai? Giselle Brett will not appear in court again in this country, I'm certain of that. What? Why not? Who said that? Wow. Inspector Hosonoga. It was a hard-fought battle in the courtroom today, very impressive to watch. I must congratulate... But what's this all about considered jurisdiction? Consular jurisdiction. We cannot try this particular foreigner for her crimes here in Japan. But we can't try her? But then who? Who's gonna bring her to justice? A British consular court will hear her case, somewhere far away where our voices can't be heard. But why a consular court? Professor, I simply don't understand. I thought consular courts were a thing of the past now that we've signed the Friendship Treaty. Yes, in normal circumstances, you are right.
Then, so long as this is not a serious incident of highly political nature in our respective governments, then they can invoke a consular court like this. Oh, can't they? Yes, she's a student, but it doesn't justify our governance making secret agreements about her fate, does it? Something strange is going on. So Miss Brett can't be held accountable for her actions here in Japan. I'm afraid for the young student. Today's trial was nothing more than a game all along. There was never any danger of comeuppance for her. I don't believe it. The British government's Foreign Affairs Ministry has demanded that we hand her over custody to Miss Brett. They're obviously taking this case of a foreign student committing murder very seriously. But it was... I don't even know. But it's all gonna change from now. We can make it change. This is a time of great turmoil. This new era heralds but the start of the 20th century. One day, I have no doubt, that woman will receive the judgment she deserves. Yes, change is coming, and we're the ones driving it. Well, I think that's enough seriousness for now. This evening calls for a celebratory drink. But Professor, you're right. This is no time for gloomy faces. We should be celebrating Yunosuke's not guilty verdict. Let's start having some fun. In that case, might I suggest let's carnival. As the head waiter, I should be delighted to provide you with ample food and drink. You're a detective, aren't you? I mean, he still got the job. Why are you coughing? Let's not worry about details for now. To la carnival! Will you accompany us, Professor? I love it when he does that, I'll be honest. I think he's my favorite so far. Of course. La carnival's food is second to none. I shall go and attend to the paperwork for Naruhodo-san's release. Oh yeah, thank you. So Giselle Brett won't be tried here. I suppose that means I'll never know. I'll never find out why she killed Dr. Wilson. Kazuma. Yes, Ryunosuke? I just wanted to say thanks again. That's all. You really saved my skin. I didn't do a thing! You were the real lawyer in there, weren't you? The defense was all on your own work. Your skills made a difference though. One day I bet you'll be the best lawyer in the world. I'm not sure about that. To be honest, something kept occurring to me over and over again during that trial. I couldn't help but thinking that maybe you're the one destined to become a great lawyer, not me. What? Come on, be serious. If it helped you today, it was only right at the very start of the trial. But you have a natural talent for it, for being a defense lawyer. Oh no, not me. All that tense verbal combat, I never wanted to go through that ever again. I just did what you told me to do, that's all. Because I knew I could trust you. That's the point. Sorry? What do you mean, that's the point? Listen, Ryunosuke. Do you know what the most crucial weapon in that any lawyer needs in order to win? Knowledge of the law? No. The ability to believe. To believe? To believe what? A defense lawyer has to fight for his clients. He has to believe in them at all times. Like you believed in me when I said I didn't do it? I'm human, just like you. I don't have some superhuman ability to know the truth. But you have to make a choice about what to believe in and stick to it when you're defending someone. Sometimes in the courtroom you can really be backed into a corner, but being able to remain faithful to what you choose to believe is even then. Well, that's not something that anyone can do. It takes a special kind of person. Believing in your client. Just look at today's trial. I'm a student lawyer with precious little real experience, but you never stopped to believing in me. Well, you faced seemingly hopeless situations time and time again, and you never stopped looking for the truth. And in the end, you found it, through your own efforts. Thanks, Kazuma. Why are you sad? There's something I want to ask you, actually, Ryunosuke. Well, it's a favor, really. Something very important to me. Sounds serious. What is... Ah, you're still here, are you? Oh, Inspector Hosonoga. I've arranged some rickshaws for us. Let's go! Thank you. We'll be right there. Let's pick up this conversation again later. You should be celebrating right now. Your first court victory. And your study tour to Great Britain, don't forget. Ah yes, that too. To be continued, or end.
So my very first trial came to an end. Kazuma, Professor Mikotoba, Susato-san, who acted as my assistant, Inspector Hosonaga, who didn't really play much of a part, but still, like Gumshoe. It was because of the help and support of all these people that I managed to get through that trial. But more importantly, Kazuma hadn't yet managed to ask his favor of me. Little did I realize just how much it would change my life. And we did it! We succeeded! We did our first trial! Only 9 more to go. Yes, please. The adventure of the unbreakable speckled band. Yeah, that was one thing I missed because, like, well, there, that's the one that we're going. Because we didn't get to do anything like investigation-wise. Oh, is this on intro? Let's watch the intro.
In a corner of that small, dark room, Sholmes and I waited with bated breath. In time, there came from the ventilator a hiss and a soft, almost growl-like sound. Suddenly, Sholmes sprang into action, lashing furiously with his cane at a point in the darkness. "You see it, Wilson?" he yelled, his tense voice reverberating through the air. I raised my dark lantern's shutter, and the room slowly came into view. Sholmes was staring intently at one particular corner when he started whispering to me. The victim's most perplexing final words. The speckled band. I believe this is the terrible coil to which she referred, Wilson. In front of us was an enormous adder, its fangs bared as it threatened to strike. It truly was the most terrible speckled band I had ever seen.
So a snake. It's a snake. Steamship Buria. Whoa, okay. We're still going.
So then, let us unravel this mystery and discover what events led to this curious murder. Pray, do excuse me. The cabin door was bolted from the inside when the man was killed. No marks to suggest the bolt was tampered with in any way. So, this would appear to be a locked room mystery. In his final moments, the victim scrawled a message on the floor. Almost certainly with the ink from this upset bottle.
What the hell?
A Russian word. So the victim was a Russian man then. And the letters are well formed, suggesting he was compos mentis at the time. This is a most extraordinary script. And evidently not penned by the same hand as this message. In fact, I deduce it was written by someone of a different nationality. This paper seal was placed just prior to the incident, by the victim himself, I would venture. Well,
What the hell?
what have we here?
Who are you, and what do you think you're doing here?
No one must touch
Oh,
me for
these people are
maritime
Russian, I gotta remember
We
that.
must wait.
That won't be necessary. You see, in less than 5 seconds from now, I will reveal the
Is it
killer
me or is it Kazuma?
What?
I swear to God.
Don't be absurd. This is murder. I need cabin locked from inside.
to you. Ah yes, the locked room. But that mystery is paper thin.
You don't mean the culprit is in there?
Who are you, and where have you come from?
I'm a great British consultant detective, the only one in the world. Herlock Sholmes. I presume you must have heard of me.
Okay. Watch it me. It's gonna be me. The freaking thing. Did I wake up? Am I on trial again? Yep, I'm on trial again. I swear to God. Ah! We got to drag you out the wood, bro. Okay, we're gonna save. I just want to check it out. See what's going on. Alright, so next time we're on a Russian boat with Herlock Sholmes. And once again, I am the culprit. I just freaking tore up my calf on my bed. That's awesome. Jesus. Alright, cool. Well, thank you for watching. I will not be doing more today. Maybe tomorrow, we will see. I hope you have a great night, and I hope to see you again. Bye-bye.